I'm Africah Harrigan for Legit TV. I'm at the Legislative Conference Room in Cruz Bay, St. John, in which the Legislative Youth Advisory Council members are having their second town hall meeting. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss major issues and concerns that are affecting the youth of our territory. Shakima Jones, project coordinator for the Department of Sports, Parks, and Recreation, stated that some of the after-school programs include dance, theater, and choir. What other activities would you like to see incorporated into the programs?
I would also like to see them do some career outlook activities. That way, the young people of the Virgin Islands will be able to choose a career that will best fit them and also would help them to make money and give back to the Virgin Islands. And also they should do a business education program for them so that they can actually understand how a business works instead of just thinking that, okay, money comes in and that it stays there and people use it. They have to realize that it's actually used to maintenance, it's used to pay people and those kind of things.
To me, some of the programs they need to incorporate in the territory is basically apprenticeship and internship programs through the Department of Labor, and I'm hopeful that it's with the legislature too, they have some kind of co-partnership. Whereas if you volunteer, let's say you volunteer at a senator's office, let's say you finish school at 3 o'clock and you're there from 3:30 until about 5:30 or even 6 o'clock, and your division head and the division head of Department of Labor, along as the senator or chief of staff, basically create a budget, whereas they put 2,000 in, and let's say you put in 2,000, that will make 4,000 just to pay off the person every month for the year, and it just renews every year, just to basically encourage young people to come and still work even though you're not officially signed over underneath someone.
I think it should be cultural education. Cultural education because we have no form of culture or no fallback and history when it comes to our children or our youth knowing about their culture. We're really falling short and we're lacking. So I was in the process of brainstorming on a curriculum for cultural education, and now I am going to put it to paper. I'm going to start to try to construct a cultural curriculum for the education and the Board of Education for St. Thomas and Virgin Islands. So that's my mission now.
One of the goals for the Department of Sports, Park, and Recreation is to improve and to renovate the facilities that they have now. But what facilities are needed for the future for the students on St. John?
I feel that there should be a performing arts center on the island because there are many students that are interested in the performing arts courses such as dancing, singing, drama, other fields of that sort. And there aren't enough types of programs that do foster these other forms of career opportunities, and many of our students are going away to the mainland to pursue these career fields, and I just feel that it would be a good idea to have a performing arts center to have these students try to make it big on our island instead of going away and never coming back.
You made the statement that peer pressure is more powerful than education. Can you please expound on that?
Yes, I can. I believe that if you get educated on voting rights and what you can do as a voter, if someone comes to you and say, hey, vote for this person, you can get the upper hand, that is more likely to take a toll on who the person votes for, no matter what kind of education system you put in there. Peer pressure is more powerful than education, especially around election time.
I believe that if students would take a required course in school and they will practice more, then they would feel like they're a part of voting, and after school they will be more involved with voting. It's not just about learning how to do everything by the books, it's also by practicing. That's why I'm saying that we should have different sessions during school to help students practice what they teach, what they teach in school. So that's my question. Is there a way that we could get a required course to teach students about voting in school and also help them practice voting during school?
You were concerned about the high unemployment rate for youth in the territory. Can you explain to us why?
Definitely. Well, actually, especially for summer employment, it has been really a concern for me because I actually applied to get a job in Department of Labor anywhere, KFC, whatever. And they never called, they never contacted me. Today is what, the 5th of August? And no word. At least, what are the procedures being done to notify if you were selected or not? Suppose I was dependent. I actually attended Stanford University this summer. I ended up doing that instead. But let's say I didn't have that opportunity. So one of my questions to Mr. Webster was, what are the procedures? And sadly, he didn't even know. He said that he needs to work on it. So I'm glad that I brought that to his awareness and that he's working on it.
How would you improve that system?
Definitely, I'll put like a bunch of all those who did not get selected, I'll put at the side, and I will have my team come in and call each one directly and let them know, or even through the mail. Send a little nice letter. But the thing about mail is that sometimes it takes forever to reach. But I would prefer a phone call.
You spoke very strongly about creating more additional alternative programs that will help to prevent students from going to jail. But can you tell me some of them?
Some programs, writing is a program, self-esteem classes, jail prevention classes, healthcare classes, anything that can kind of advert students from taking in all their rage and just letting it out in anger and putting it in more creative, positive, helpful ways for them and even for some of their companions will be like great ways.
It's one thing to talk about implementing change with after-school programs, and I'm all for it, but it's definitely inclusive for us to have programs during the school hours because that's where the students are. And the majority of students are in school. That's what it is. It's not just the after-school program. So I was asking Mr. Sewer about that, and I'm hoping that he can get back to me at a later date. I do believe if we're going to be implementing programs into these curriculum, I definitely would add more music classes, definitely would add more artistic classes because that will help implement our self-empowerment because music is life and life is music.
The suggestions I have to improve the education system is that we should have more scholarships and more loans available, like not just for the Salo Valley, but for the top 10 graduates of either high school. We should have like more scholarships available for them, or somebody that's really good at a sport. They should have more scholarships or more loans to get to have a better education and do better in life.
Constructive means for students to be involved in the community, because once students are involved in the community, they are able to give back through the history of the Caribbean. They learn, they build, and we also can put in and get out. As in, students can see what it takes to be a Virgin Islander, so they can see, okay, I want to be a part of this, I want to do this, I want to better enhance my community, better be a part of it. What it takes, whether I have to go away and come back, or what I want to do requires me to go away and help be a better citizen towards the United States, or even United States Virgin Islands. What can I do to better myself? Be a better person, be a better human, and enhance my personal skills.
Considering that the territory is facing financial challenges, what suggestions do you have that will increase revenues to maintain the after-school programs?
One of the suggestions that I have is that we should consistently have fundraising events, because a lot of times we have one-shot, two-shot fundraising events that just suit our immediate needs, but then it doesn't help us in the long run, because then we'll have to do more fundraising events to gain that money that we lost. I think that we should have that consistency, because with consistency, a lot more people participate, a lot more people know who you are, they will see how involved, and then that's definitely where you get support. Now, another idea that I have is also teaching students how to do grant writing. Grant writing is perfect because it doesn't only just teach them how to write, but also how to use different policies and also implement those in the Virgin Islands. And that's another way that we can gain large sums of money to help our programs here in the Virgin Islands.
This is your second town hall meeting. How do you think it's going so far?
Well, I think the second part of the because it's a three-part phase, the second town hall meeting went great. We definitely spoke on some key issues today that we didn't really get to touch on the last time. So we spoke about the voting age being lowered, or our proposal anyways. We also talked about getting the youth registered to vote for the upcoming general election. We also spoke about education was definitely one, because we had the Board of Education there this time. And we also spoke about getting the youth of the Virgin Islands involved in the labor force.
Thank you for tuning in to Legit's coverage of the Legislative Youth Advisory Council's Town Hall meeting. Also, you can follow the happenings of the legislature and follow us on Facebook at 30th Legislature. Subscribe to us on YouTube at LegVI1 and follow us on Twitter at LegislatureVI. I'm Africah Harrigan for Legit TV.